Monday Night Football reactions, MLB Free Agency tracker, and the college football coaching carousel I want to get off. All that and more today on Debate Amongst Friends. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's Tuesday. Ugh. What a week 12. It is in the books. I am the Professor John Gotti. And Doc is out there somewhere. He's sitting up there in his helicopter. I thought that I was joking when I was telling you that he is our tribal chief and the head of the table. But he will not be in today. I am rocking it solo. So please bear with me as I review the Monday Night Football banger matchup. Is this even a game? Between the Washington football team and the Seattle Seahawks, where the Seahawks just fell so short of pushing this game into overtime, as the Washington football team, and as Doc liked to call it, Heineken, walked away from this 17-15. Another game of back-to-back turnovers. It's honestly nothing to really be proud of here from either team. Of course, the football team are making a push to remain in this playoff conversation. But honestly, folks, this game could have went either way. Both offenses were essentially abysmal. What positive can we come out of this? Just think about it. Yeah, the offense, both quarterbacks threw for shy of 250 yards each, but the defense, question mark. And of course, after the game, everyone's talking about how DK Metcalf didn't get targeted that much. He only had 4 targets with 1 reception. Yes, they do need to incorporate him within the offense more. Absolutely. But they made some effort to bring in some run, to add some run into it. And they was also trying to spread the ball out too. This is another situation, folks, of having your cake and eat it too. It's only when things don't go right is when people always complain. But following this game, the Seahawks did fall to 3-8. The football team is now 5-6. And in this game too, and I have to mention this. I do. I have to mention this because it is an apropos. As Jamal Adams get an interception, and how apropos that he got an interception, and the Jets are now the holder of the number 4 and the number 5, which was acquired by the Seahawks, pick for this upcoming draft. Wow. For those in the New York metro area who are either a Jets fan or a Giants fan, well, New York and New Jersey, at least the north side of it, because if you're in the south side of it, you're more of an Eagles fan, but that's not the point. The point I'm trying to make is they are the recipients of the 4, 5, 6, and 7 seed as of this recording of this episode. You talk about how they're not trying to make any changes for the future. Now they have 2 each, 2 picks of the potential future. And I don't know about you, but if I was a fan of either of these franchises, that would get me excited. Yes, you want to win, but you also want to build towards the future. And I'm curious to see what Doc El Idolo would have to say about this, but we'll probably get his quick thoughts about it tomorrow. But that's besides the point. We also had MLB Free Agency been happening as well too, and I'll talk about some of the signings. The most recent just happened today, as Javier Baez and the Detroit Lions has agreed to a 6-year, $140 million deal with an opt-out clause. Now that's pretty big. You don't really see that. You don't really hear that a lot, especially in baseball. Other news that happened yesterday: Corey Seager and the Texas Rangers are in agreement on a 10-year, $325 million deal. That's actually pretty big. That's really, really good. What else we have? Max Scherzer and the New York Mets has agreed to a 3-year, $130 million contract. Pretty good. Max Scherzer is actually a great starting pitcher. He still has a lot in the tank. The Mariners and Robbie Ray, left-hand pitcher, are finalizing a 5-year, $115 million contract with an opt-out clause after the third season. So it allows them to have a little bit more wiggle room if things aren't working out in the best manner for either side. They can part ways within 3 years. And it'll also help out with the team's cap going forward. And there's a whole bunch more. I wish there was someone, I know we're at the last day of November and December is just around the corner, but we're always looking behind us for some October. But talking about looking behind the coaching carousel, we have coaches that are not looking behind them. They're moving forward to a brand new team. We talked about Lincoln Riley yesterday. We had some more coaching changes that occurred. Billy Napier is now the head coach of the Florida Gators. He was, of course, the Louisiana LSU head coach. Clay Helton, the former USC head coach, is now heading to Georgia Southern. Brian Kelly, in a big, shocking turn of events, is now the LSU head coach as he leaves Notre Dame, and of course, the rumors of one Urban Myers potentially becoming the next head coach of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish has already begun. Jerry Kill, the TCU interim head coach, has been brought on to become the head coach of the New Mexico State. I believe they're the Wolfpack. I'm going to say they're the Wolfpack. Rhett Lashley, the Miami Hurricane offensive coordinator, is now the SMU head coach. Former SMU head coach Sonny Dykes leaves in style, heading down the 30 westbound to become the new head coach of the Bullfrogs in TCU. He did come in to the field yesterday on a mother flipping helicopter. Joey McGuire, who was the Baylor associate head coach, is now the Texas Tech head coach. Jim Mora, the former UCLA head coach, is now the UConn head coach. Don Brown, the former UMass defensive coordinator, was promoted up to the University of Massachusetts head coaching. Of course, we mentioned Lincoln Riley, who's now with USC. Kalen DeBoyer, who was the Fresno State head coach, is now the head coach for Washington University. And finally, we have Jake Dickert, who was the interim head coach of Washington State. He has now been assigned and promoted up to full-time head coaching duties of Washington State. Folks, I know that you heard this podcast on your favorite podcasting device, but if you didn't, you can always listen to this episode and all the other ones at our website, www.debateamongstfriends.com. Please tune in tomorrow as Doc returns. We talk about the college football playoff ranking and the AP poll as well too, the NFL power rankings, and more right here on Debate Amongst Friends. But unfortunately, I must bid you adieu as we give you the news, the analysis, and the read.